People tryna say I'm only enemy. Got a cold with my dogs, can get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen.
Welcome in, everybody. We're back. I know with Mother's Day and the early games over the weekends and all that stuff, we weren't able to do the YouTube videos. We were able to do the live stream, so hopefully you guys are able to tune into those. But we're back. We got two big games today. We got some to talk about yesterday, so let's get into it. First things first, Dallas Mavericks won the NBA draft lottery. They get the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Not rigged at all. Then we got Tatum going down with an injury and the Knicks going up 3-1. Not exactly what you want to see. It's looking more and more like we're getting a Knicks-Pacers matchup in the conference final, which I don't think anybody expected. But hey, we're getting close there. And then Timberwolves took care of the Warriors. Once again, no surprise without Curry. Everybody kind of expected Timberwolves to coast through some of these games. But today, we have the one seeds back in action. Cavs down 3-1 against the Pacers. That's where we'll start with the Cavs going back home. Obviously, magnet in the rim in Game 4. Pacers just ran away with it early. What are we expecting to see differently here?
I mean, the intensity from Cleveland, hopefully. I mean, they weren't even defending their own players.
No, it was
DeAndre Hunter with a little bit of a scuffle.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody helping each other out. They just look defeated on the court.
They look like
Evan
they were
Mobley's not even
reacting.
taking shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like they were reacting to everything. Don't know what that
Just
is.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
it's
was.
just like that. But it seemed like in Game 3, obviously Cavs integrated that zone a little bit. The Pacers looked lost. We're trying to figure it out through the game. It never felt like they were executing their game plan. In Game 4, it switched a little bit. The Pacers had a game plan. They were executing it. And it felt like the Cavs never got a chance to play their game plan. And they never adjusted to it through the midst of the game. It was just, at all points of the game, it felt like the Cavs were reaching to try and adjust, and they never could.
And it feels like most of the series, to be honest, like Games 1, Game 2, like they're playing at what the Pacers like to do. And they've never been able to set the tone outside of, Game 3?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think Game 3 was some of it because kind of blindsided them. They didn't know whether Hunter and Garland and Mobley were going to play. They didn't know what defense we were going to run. So I feel like there was a lot that the Pacers weren't ready for in Game 3, and the Cavs were able to catch them off guard. I do expect some adjustments for Game 5, so there is potential for that again. And then outside of that, it just comes down to shot making, because the reality of it was, as bad as the Cavs played, I think with how well Indiana shot, even if the Cavs were playing well, at least in that first half, I don't think it would have mattered. I mean, the Pacers went through a 4-minute stretch where they didn't miss a shot, and it was mostly threes. So it was just an ass kicking on every level. In this one, I think it looks like Don's supposed to play. He was at shoot around, so that is a big addition for the Cavs. Garland got a little bit more rhythm, getting some blowout run. You could see he was getting his feet under him a little bit more. Mobley's still kind of a concern. He's healthy, but he doesn't look like the Mobley we saw during this season. He looks like the Mobley we saw from last season, where we were waiting for him to develop. But he's dealing with an injury in his defense. So this isn't like a criticism. This is more just to say, if this is the Mobley that the Cavs are getting in this series from a guy who's supposed to be like one of our biggest needle movers, it's not ideal, not great.
Outside of Garland and Mitchell, who has to step up the most for the Cavs here?
I think DeAndre Hunter needs to get some run. I think we had guys like Strus and Merrill and those guys. They kept getting pinned against Miles Turner on switches, and it was a kind of a mess. And unless those guys are hitting like 3, 4, 5 threes, it's kind of hard to justify them being in the court, because Pacers play defense very aggressively. They play up on screens. So it makes life very difficult for Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell if there's nobody else to catch it on the pass and make a threatening move for the basket. Because if Miles Turner's up at half court hedging a screen that Jared Allen's playing, that means there's nobody to defend the rim. So if we can get it to Max Strus on the wing and he doesn't gets a jab and then takes it to the basket, there's nobody to help him there. But nobody's doing that. So I think DeAndre Hunter is really the only one we have off the bench that is capable of doing that for us. Maybe Ty Jerome, but obviously he's been a disaster since Game 1. So if I'm taking my pick, I'm betting on the size of DeAndre Hunter, both offensively and defensively, over Ty Jerome here. I think we need to see more minutes from him. The question is, I don't know if Kenny's going to give it to him or not.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with that, I think we need to see less like 3 guard lineups because obviously the size is playing a pivotal role here, and it's just if you're already playing bad defense and you're not
Yeah.
knocking down shots, then it's not helpful anyways. You gotta see some like big changes,
Yeah.
especially in the elimination game.
I mean, yeah, on the offensive end, it's going to come down to everything, no matter who's on the court, whether it's 3 guards or 4 bigs. The offense is going to go through Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, and you just want to be able to supplement the offense around them and make your open shots. Whether that happens or not, it's going to depend on just how guys are feeling. If the 3 guard lineup isn't making the shots, it's not going to make a difference. I think the
Yeah,
offense is a lot simpler. I think the issue for the Cavs resides a lot more on the defensive end because when they get switched, it's either Tyrese Halliburton cooking Jared Allen, or it's Miles Turner pinning like a Max Strus or Darius Garland in the paint. We need the physicality and defensive size in there if we're going to be switching. And we're probably going to have to because that zone that worked in game 3 did not work in game 4. The Pacers seem to have figured it out a little bit. So that zone working is the only way you can get away with smaller lineups when there's this much physicality involved. And if we're not getting away with it, we can't be using it.
yeah, and then you got to cut down on the turnovers. I think it was 22 turnovers for the Cavs versus 10 for the
Yeah.
Pacers. And Pacers like to run, and you're basically letting them do what they want to do, which is run.
Yeah.
Because you can be in transition, fast breaks, and they're very confident there. So
Yeah.
gotta limit those turnovers.
I think the biggest adjustment for, I guess, both offensively and defensively for the Cavs is with the way they're trying to break the Pacers press, they're setting screens, even double screens with Mobley and Allen at half court. So one, the Pacers can go under those screens without much threat and stay in front of their man. Two, once you get around the screen, you're still not even at the 3-point line. So there's not really
Yeah,
any offense created out of that. All it's doing is getting you past the half court line. When you're coming off those screens and now you're running towards the sideline, you can't start your offense there either. So it's the Cavs are just consistently putting themselves in spots where not only was there ball pressure, but it was speeding them up. And that's the last thing that you want to be doing against the Pacers who want the game to be as fast as possible, at least on that side of the floor.
yeah,
I think that's all we need to talk about there.
yeah. I think Pacers is gonna continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just gonna adjust to whatever the Cavs are gonna do. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Kenny's
hard to
going to have to
predict.
earn his Coach of the Year award today.
Yeah,
Because if the Cavs do have adjustments they can make, it's just a matter of which ones are they going to make and if it's going to work. I don't think they're down and out, at least like for this game specifically. It's just a matter of being the first one to throw the first punch here. So we'll see what happens. The next game of the day, OKC and Denver tied 2-2, which I'll be the first one to say I did not expect this to be tied 2-2 going into game 5. But
no.
we're going back to OKC. And we know OKC handles business at home. What's the first thing that's catching your eye when you look at this game as a game 5?
I mean, it feels like just OKC is just dominating the boards. The Nuggets, they don't have enough depth,
Yeah.
and OKC has a lot of it. So these players these starters for Denver, they're getting real tired going into the fourth quarter. And, if you're already in a slow, just, physical game, both teams aren't hitting shots, you're more likely not going to be able to hit shots if you're tired, right?
Yep.
OKC, they have a little bit more rest, so a little bit more likely for them to hit shots in the closing minutes.
Dude, it feels like we haven't gotten a Jokic game yet, and I feel like it's coming.
Yeah, we just had that game 1, and that was about it.
Yeah, we had the 42-point from game 1, but then since then 17, 20, and he had 27 last game, but it felt all at the free throw line. It felt like they were
Yeah, I feel
pretty
like the
well
big
put
talk
together.
about that is Jalen Williams.
Yeah, the
Everybody's
other
just been
Jalen
talking
Williams.
about him.
Yeah, the other Jalen Williams.
Yeah, Mr. Lightskin.
He's done really well on him, and in Jokic's defense, they're basically putting Jalen Williams on him and then showing
They're letting
help
him
with
go
the back.
one-on-one with Jalen Williams because Jalen
No,
Williams is
they're showing
very
help
strong.
behind him.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
for the most part, when he's taking a shot, it's one-on-one.
oh yeah. Jalen Williams. It's almost like Jalen Williams is sagging off him, and they're showing help behind. So they're basically forcing him to say, hey, we're not letting you get into those post hook shots. You have to shoot 20-footers against us. And
Yeah.
I mean, in Denver's defense, you're normally fine with Jokic taking 20-footers, but for whatever reason, he's not making his shots in this game.
Yeah.
So maybe it's really that important for him to get into rhythm with those post shots, or maybe it's just a matter of, hey, it's coming. That game is coming.
You just need to see like 2 threes go in, and then maybe he'll start finding his rhythm.
Yep. So Jokic, he's getting his chances. It's just a matter of taking advantage of it. I feel like nothing's changed from the OKC side in terms of, I mean, Denver's still walling up on Shea. It's leading to a lot of Shea potential assists, a lot of open threes for the role players, and Denver seems to be fine with letting Lou Dort and Alex Caruso and not Jalen, and Aaron Wiggins and those guys shoot open threes, as long as it's not Shea getting into the paint, which makes sense. I mean, it's 2-2, so clearly they're doing something right to an extent. But
I think Denver needs to focus on forcing OKC to like kind of get off their game by playing more ISO ball. In these like last like 2 or 3 games, well, mainly like the last 2, like you're really seeing this ISO offense, like just one pass or maybe 0 passes and then just brick. You know,
you're saying
they're not
Denver's
getting
offense
efficient
or OKC's
shots.
offense?
Thunder's offense.
Okay.
Yeah, the Thunder offense, like when it gets stagnant, especially like in this series, the last couple games, it hasn't looked good. And I think forcing them to just not move the ball around, just straight up just ISO, I think they got to continue to find a way to try and do that
I
to
agree.
limit OKC's offense.
It gets interesting too with obviously Jokic gets criticized for defense a lot. And they're kind of letting Hartenstein have that push shot.
Yeah.
And like it's not Jokic is showing a lot of help on Shea early, like at the free throw line, not just in the paint. So it's giving those push shots to Isaiah Hartenstein and he's making them. Do you just keep letting that happen?
Yeah, because when you look at the actual stats, he's only shooting like 50% in the playoffs. I think it was like 18 to 36 on the floaters, which is
Yeah.
kind of what they categorize a push shot. And then regular season, 55%. I think it was like over 200 shots off the floater. So I think you just keep letting him shoot that shot.
Yeah. That makes
If it's
sense.
a 50-50 shot, I would live with that, especially for how close he is at the rim.
Yeah. What else? Chet's still the low man in that defense. His
Yep.
rebound chances are ridiculous. And Lou Dort lost minutes last game. He only had 19 minutes. He
Yep.
shot, what was it, 1 of 10, 2 of 10 from
2 of
deep?
10. Yeah.
And then Caruso and Casey Wallace were stealing his minutes. I think the deeper we get into the playoffs, I think we're just going to see more and more Caruso minutes. It's just that
He's the
team
more
looks
consistent shooter.
Yeah.
And still plays good defense.
Oh yeah, that the team just looks like they just have this giant jolt of energy whenever Caruso's on the floor, and that's why they
Yeah.
traded for him. But it's been good to see that that's coming to fruition, but it's directly impact Lou Dort's rotation.
They got to get Unk involved.
They gotta get Unk involved. All right, what else do we have to talk about? More Aaron Gordon at the 1. How about
Yeah.
that? He's bringing the ball up the court instead of Jamal Murray for a little bit.
His bag is getting deeper each season, it looks like. Especially this season. It's like, yeah, you got a jumper now. It's kind of crazy.
43% from 3, bringing the ball up the court, running the pick and roll as the ball handler and the screener. I mean, he's put it together, and
Yeah.
they've needed every bit of it. Because I mean, we had the Michael Porter Jr. game, but outside of the one game, you can tell he's dealing with that shoulder injury. Jamal Murray he's been playing well, but he still has to deal with Caruso and Dort on him. And we've talked about Jokic's struggles. So Aaron Gordon playing as well as he has, both in last series and this series, has really been a huge boost for them. And he's kind of been, I don't want to say quiet X factor because it hasn't been quiet, but I feel like his impact is much larger than is actually felt so far.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, parlay time. So we're bringing back the ladder challenge, everybody. For those that don't know and are new, basically what we do, we'd start with $20, put in a plus 2,000 parlay, and we only roll over the profits. So as you can see, if we hit day 1, we profit $40, we pocket 20, and now no matter what, we're playing with house money from that point on. the last day you put in 1,000 to win 3,000 if you get there. And if you were to hit all of that, I think it's like $4,500 in profit. But again, you hit day one, you're playing with house money the rest of the way. And this is what we got for game one. We got Garland, 2 threes. I think he's had 12 threes through 2 games in the series. I can double check while I'm talking. But like we said, he got his legs out from under him a little bit more last game, and he's significantly better this season at home compared to away. With Donovan Mitchell dealing with what he's dealing with, there's upside for Darius Garland to get more usage. And the official number, he had 5 attempts from deep last game in the blowout. Didn't see the fourth quarter. 7 in his first game back in 25 minutes, despite some foul trouble. And in the 2 Miami games, he had 8 and 9 attempts. I think in the 2 games versus Indiana earlier this season, he also had 8 and 9 attempts. So we just need 2 to go in. And then we're pairing that with Miles Turner rebounds. His rebound chances have just been through the roof in this series. There's 2 big guys on the floor, at least one of them at any given moment, and he's their only true size in there. Obviously, Siakam and Obi Toppin have got some length to him, but in terms of a big body that's hard to move, Miles Turner is their guy. So he's been in there, and they're getting a bunch of rebound chances, and we don't expect that to change. Next up, next game, Chet Holmgren, 8 rebounds. Like we said, he's the low man. His rebound chances have been absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't really care if Aaron Gordon's at the 3-point line. He's still showing help at the block. And if Aaron Gordon's in the dunker spot, then Chet Holmgren's in rebound position there as well. And lastly, Nikola Jokic over 22.5 points. Like we said, OKC is willing to let him shoot the ball. They're showing help at the rim, but they're letting him take those elbow shots and threes. And he hasn't been knocking them down, but we know that he can hit those, and it's about time he does. So all that together, plus 212, 20 to win a little bit over 40. If that hits, we'll be rolling the 40 over to tomorrow's video and tomorrow's picks. So make sure you guys like and subscribe so you don't miss those, and we will see you guys on the next show. Good luck and take care.